hit the subscribe button. Or don't. I really don't care one way or the other. Welcome everybody to my latest video. So for this video we got something a little bit different. Here we have the Great American Wish Book from Sears, 1991. Now I like to collect these things. I'll buy a couple a year. And yes, you can get these really cheap on a USB drive, nice pretty pictures, digital download type stuff. But I personally like having physical media. And this is just something, I don't know, these things can go for a pretty penny, depending on what year you have. Stuff in the 80s can go for a lot. 90s, you can get at a fairly decent price. This one is 1991, and in case you don't know, stores such as Sears used to sell these catalogs. You can see right here, $4. You'd buy it, and then if you want to, order something online or through the not online, sorry. Back then, online really didn't exist. If you wanted to order something through the phone or through mail, you could, use this type of a catalog. So, yeah, we got 1991. Let's just take a look here. You can see some of the stuff here. Look. $764.98 for that. Wow. And your cheap iPhone from 5-10 years ago does way more than that. One reason I like to collect these is just a trip down memory lane, nostalgia. Just remembering a easier time of years past. This one actually has the order form still attached to it right here, and you'd fill it out, mail it in with usually a check. I don't think they did COD. Check or money order. And then, you probably wait 6 to 8 weeks, and then you get your stuff. I mean, nowadays you see something online, takes you a couple minutes to order it, and you might even have it the next day. Back then, not so simple. I usually collect stuff from the 80s, sometimes early 90s, every now and then, later than the early 90s. Again, this one is 1991. It just kind of makes you appreciate how far we've come along. Look at this. An electronic encyclopedia, almost $300. Nowadays, you have your encyclopedia, as well as every song you could ever want, and every movie you could ever want on your phone. His boring stuff, jewelry. Clothes. Even back then, I didn't care about clothes. Was this the women's naughty section? Lingerie, possibly? Yeah, there we go. You do have to be a little bit careful if you're viewing these and you're making a video when it comes to the children's section. The reason why I say, hey, remember these pajamas? Sometimes these catalogs would show boys and girls in undergarments. Of course, nothing was shown. A bathing suit would have shown more, but it could be viewed as inappropriate, so why take any chances? Well, I can see the styling that was being sold back then. There, get your daughter all dressed up for a family picture that you're going to send to grandma. Okay, more clothes. Sweaters. Boys even wear sweaters anymore? Oh yes, you remember these pants? Wow. Alright, let's get to some other stuff. More boring stuff. Usually the fun stuff is in the back. Toys, here it goes. Toys, sports, and more. Barbie stuff, you can never go wrong. Is that Cinderella and Prince Charming? Animal toys. I remember seeing stuff like this. Holy crap. Look at that. $38.88 for that. Nowadays, something like that's going to cost you about $200 to $250. Amazing. Little type stuff. Some Disney. Let's get to some of the older toys meant for older kids. Beanbag chairs, phones. What else we got here? All right. Who doesn't want a New Kids on the Block or Vanilla Ice sleeping bag? They kind of look like they got a sunburn there. Michael Jordan, you know that sold very well back in the day. Let's see what we got here. All learning type stuff. Yeah, you could buy baseball cards. Back then, baseball card collecting was really huge. It was like a card shop on every corner. Musical instruments. Nancy Drew books. Wow. Oh, there we go. Mini pinball or mini pool table. 4-way air hockey? Didn't know that existed. Wrap Around. MC Hammer, Vanilla Ice. Don't remember those. Crossfire. Okay, who remembers the little handheld games? These were amazing. Now, how many of you asked for a Game Boy and instead you got these? Your parents or grandparents or whoever probably thought, why should I spend, $100 and some on a Game Boy plus another $30 on a game when I could get 5 of these for, you know, $60, and it's the exact same thing. And of course, when you got it and you opened it and you were severely disappointed, you tried to play it off with a straight face, but yeah, sometimes this is all that we had. It was definitely better than nothing during those long car trips. There you go, the Game Boy. I had the Game Boy, I had the Lynx, I had the Game Gear. The Lynx, I don't think that got enough credit. I mean, it was a good system. Could have used some better games. TurboGrafx 16, I had that. Sold a bunch of Nintendo games. Got myself a TurboGrafx with Keith Courage. Had some other games. I sold it. And then I got a TurboGrafx 16 again because I traded away my Game Gear for a Turbo 16 plus like 15 games. Eventually sold that. Then got into the Turbo Duo. Turbo Express. I wanted one of these so bad. I was just aching to get one. Never got one, unfortunately. Genesis. Here's a story. I told this a couple times. There was one Christmas I wanted a Sega Genesis so bad. I really wanted one. My friend Tony, who I've talked about in other videos, he was, I'd say, upper middle class. Always seemed to have money. I think the guy always just seemed to have like $100 in his wallet any given day. Really cool guy, but he had a Sega Genesis. I wanted one so bad. Christmas came around. Parents asked for a list. Of course, I made a Christmas list, and I told them, hey, you know, yeah, the Genesis is a lot. I know it is. But if you just get me the Genesis with whatever game it comes with, which at the time would have been Altered Beast or possibly Sonic, I told them, if that's the only present I get, I'll be perfectly happy. I don't need anything else. They looked at me like I was crazy, and I told them, no, I'm 100% serious. Sega Genesis, that's all I get for Christmas. That's perfectly fine. I am 100% happy. Christmas comes along. A lot of gifts. I see this one big giant box. I'm thinking, oh wow. They got me these gifts and a Genesis. Came time to open up that big box. I rip it open, hoping to see a Genesis. And instead, it was my Nintendo Entertainment System with my games and my Nintendo Advantage joystick that I had gotten taken away like 6 months earlier as punishment. Yeah, that was my main Christmas gift. I was so severely bummed. And I think my mom was like, oh yeah, you know, the Sega was so expensive. And I remember thinking, I told you, don't get me this other stuff. I think I was even adding it all up in my head. And I just tried to play it off. Oh yeah, no problem. Totally understand. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, sure. I don't even think I played it. Not saying that the Nintendo was a bad system. It had some great games, but I just wasn't into it at that time. Super Nintendo, yeah, there we go. First time I got that, I think I got it from a Best Buy, maybe? I'm not sure. NASCAR stuff. Whoa. Remote control cars. Remote control planes. Trains. More automobiles. Oh yeah. Here we go. WWF and X-Men figures. Yep. This was, I remember these. DC had their stuff. What do we got down here? A Swamp Thing. Let's find some more fun stuff. Is that all the fun stuff that they had? I guess so. Action figure wise, wasn't that much. Bikes, gym equipment. Oh yeah, remember these things? Hey, you want to get yourself a sausage? Gotta be some more fun stuff. Books, tools, TVs. Let's take a look at the TVs. Ah, those big behemoths. Those things are a pain in the ass to move. Phones. Yeah, there wasn't much in terms of toys. That's another reason why I like the 80s stuff. Toy section was much, much bigger. Alright, some turtles. Yeah, that's about it. Well, there you are. Just another trip down memory lane. This time for the 1991 Sears catalog. If you have any questions, let me know. Until next time.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.